Hey guys, Vazzy back here, and today it is time for episode 4 of our retro NHL franchise mode series here with the Edmonton Oilers. And in today's video, we have a big one. We have the 2015 NHL draft. We have the chance, I'm very much hoping so, that we can trade up and get a top pick for Connor McDavid. Obviously, we know in real life, he went first overall to the Oilers, and ever since then, everything has looked very, very good for them. So, with that being said, let's get into the draft. Let's see, I'm not even sure where we're picking right now, but I'm very hopeful that we can trade up for a top pick. Interesting, so we're at 14 and 27, Buffalo is number 1. So we only have our 2 phones here, we have to be careful when it comes to trades. I'm willing to overpay quite a bit for this pick, just want to make sure we get him. Value's not too bad, so we're going to give you 14 for sure. I want to try and hold on to my other one. Let's go by value. I don't want to move in Eberle or a Schultz. Nurse want to hang on to. What if we gave you like a Teddy Purcell? Got big money who I don't really want. He didn't really perform great, but he has some value to him. He's 84 overall. He's still under 30. Could give you Marinson. What if we gave you Gordon? Making more money again. A guy that we probably really don't need. We can probably replace him in free agency. I don't hate doing that. So package those 2 for the first. I guess we have to take back just a nobody player here. What do you say, Buffalo? Will this sport go through? Just a little bit too low for us. So if I throw on like a 3rd round pick, is that going to get it done for first overall? Let's try that again. Again, we only have one more shot. If this doesn't go through, then we're kind of screwed in moving up at all. And again, McDavid was scouted at rank number 6. I don't know how accurate that really is, but I want to get the first overall pick just to make sure that we actually get him. So where's that guy that we had thrown on before? I want to make sure we have the same player, just so we don't get screwed over here. It was, yeah, Bagnall. Will this go through? And there you go. We have acquired the first overall draft pick in the 2015 NHL draft. I think I know who the pick is going to be. So let's get into it. Let's see our options. Oh, so interesting. McDavid now is ranked top 5. I wonder why before it was showing that he was like 6th overall, like a top 10 pick. That's actually really, really weird. The scouting back in these old games wasn't great. Satcher is still supposed to be way up there for goaltenders. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Obviously, you have Barzal there. But I think it's safe to say, with the first overall pick from the Erie Otters, the Edmonton Oilers select Connor McDavid. So that is huge. There's the face of the franchise, just like in real life, coming back home. See, Barzal ended up going 3. There's some names I recognize. Nothing too crazy though. Who can we add to this team? Again, not really recognizing Jeremy Waugh. I remember that guy. Pavel Zacha, I suppose, goes 2nd round. Dylan Strome. He was also playing on Erie. Maybe we pick up Strome and have the 2 Erie guys playing on the same team. Obviously, he went quite a bit higher in the real draft. Looking at goalies, you have Mackenzie Blackwood, who I wouldn't really mind picking up, but I think we have to go Strome. Wait, that's Mitch Marner. Man, there's a lot of really good talent in this draft. I'm not sure what their potentials are. Let's go with Dylan Strome. Again, I don't know if Marner going like 2nd to 3rd round, obviously he's not going to have like a equivalent of medium elite potential, but I wonder if he's still at least somewhat decent in this game. Let's see what we have available here with our 2nd round selection. So Pavel Zacha's up there. Nicholas Waugh. Yeah, Marner's still out there. I don't see a ton of... Oh, there's Lawson Krause. A couple of names definitely that ended up becoming something. But I think we have to go with Mitch Marner. We're going to have just an absolute all-star team of guys that we drafted here that I guess just didn't get updated to where they really should be getting drafted, but either way, we will definitely capitalize on that and see what happens. Otherwise, we didn't have a 3rd round pick. Obviously, we traded that to Buffalo to get that first overall pick. So let's move ahead to the 4th round. We're not making any more trades. See if there's any other interesting names that kind of pop up here that we can't. Oh, there's Sebastian Aho, obviously the Islanders one. Connor Garland, obviously the Canucks. Rupe Hintz, supposed to be going 4th. Let's go Garland first. Wouldn't mind picking up Hintz here. I also wouldn't mind taking a goalie in this spot. Obviously, yeah, we still do have Hintz available. He hasn't been taken. Kevin Lankinen, obviously Predators and Blackhawks. I don't think he was ever drafted in real life. Not a ton else on the goalie market. Capo Kakinen is there. I'm thinking let's maybe go Lankinen. He's 20. Maybe he's a little bit further along in his development when it comes to overall and all that. So taking Kevin Lankinen there in the 4th. Move on to the 5th round here. See who is still available for us later. If there's any other recognizable names. Nothing off the start that I see. Rankin sounds familiar for some reason. Other than that, Ty Comrie. I remember he was always pretty good in these games, I thought. Is that Mikko Rantanen? So you're telling me we're going to have McDavid, Marner, Strome, Rantanen all in the same draft? Seems pretty OP for sure. And like I said, I know these players probably don't have the potential that they would be getting in later games, but name value alone, that's pretty insane. What do we do up next here? Comrie's still available. Vince Dunn, another interesting name. Adam Brooks, I think. Played a little bit in the NHL. Goalie wise, nothing that really interests me here. Austin Lotz, I remember him from all these old games for whatever reason. Let's go Vince Dunn here. Another all-star, why not? I'm actually very curious to see what some of these potentials are on these guys once we get to the re-sign stage. I'm assuming it'll show us then, so... let's see here with the last overall pick. Let's pick a good name here. Puisuter, obviously now the Canucks. At time of recording, Keegan Colasar, Shillington. I remember he was really, really good in these games for whatever reason, being an offensive defenseman. Go Shillington. Why not? And there is the look at the rest of the draft. But there is your number 1 pick, Connor McDavid. Very, very excited to be able to add him to the franchise here. And really, I think he's going to probably be one of those guys who makes the lineup day 1. I know he's only a 71 overall, but in real life, it's McDavid. He's going to make the lineup day 1. We'll give him a shot anyway, I think. But aside from that, let's move on to the re-sign stage. Haven't done one of these in quite a while. Let's see what everyone's asking for. Yakupov only wants like just under $2 million for 4 years. Get almost 60 points. Go 1.9 for 4. It's a very good contract. This guy, no idea who you are. He's a random grinder. He can release you. Dylan Strome, he's only a 54, but he's actually got decent potential 4-star gold. Obviously McDavid having his 4.5-star green, that was one of the basically the best potentials in game. But even Marner 4-star, Rantanen 3.5. So they're not amazing potentials, but they're not horrible. Like, these guys could definitely still grow and definitely still become players for us in the future. So maybe I should just be drafting by name value here, and we'd end up getting some pretty good players. Kyle Platzner, no idea who you are. You can get released. Betker, no idea who you are as well. But I think we're going to have some money here to spend in free agency. Again, I'm not too sure who else we have to sign here, so just kind of trying to clean up this roster. Yeah, there we go. It's a better way of seeing it. So Ryan Jones, I don't think we really need him. Petrie, I definitely want to bring back. I didn't realize he was a UFA. $4 million for 4 years seems pretty reasonable. Let's try 4 for 3, see what he says to that. Don't hate that contract. Miller, we don't need. Hunt, we don't need. Mark Arcabello, he actually had a decent little run with us. He's looking for no money on a 2-way deal. I'm definitely alright with that contract. Keith Aldi, let's bring him back. 78, he could be alright as a depth defenseman for us. Again, he wants no money, so I don't hate that contract. Philip Larson, he played a decent amount in our top 6 last year. $1 million for 2 years. Can't go wrong with that. Justin Schultz, so this would be a big one. 4.5 green star potential, just like McDavid. So he's going to grow, let's try 6 years at like 5.5. I think that could be a really good contract if he gets up there. Then we'll have him locked up for a while as well. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see what he says. Roman Horak, I'm not too sure who this guy is, but he's actually not that bad, especially on a two-way two-year deal. Hamilton, we don't need. Davidson, we don't need. Anton Lander, you know, he could be a fourth liner for us, maybe. Still young enough to maybe become something. Tyler Picklick, he could be an AHL or maybe a bottom six guy. Martin Marincin. So he's a guy who could grow. He's already seen some decent growth. Let's just do a 2-year deal, closer to 1.2, 1.3, because he is asking for some money the longer we would go. So yeah, let's do a little bit of shorter term deal with him just for now. See how he ends up on this team. See if he grows over the summer. Yakupov, we've done. Clefbaum, what do you want? So 2 years, you want some money? Just do a 1 year 800K-ish deal. I'm fine with that. And other than that, I think those are all the contracts I want to send out at the moment. A lot of the drafted guys, I think just for now, we're going to leave unsigned. Other than McDavid, don't really have any plans for them playing in the NHL, obviously, and they can't play in the AHL at this point, so we will leave them unsigned at the moment. But let's see what everybody said here. Keith Ollie, Philip Larson, Justin Schultz, that's a big one. Martin Marincin, Yakupov, Petrie, Clefbaum, Lander, Horak, Picklick. Everybody here, and there is Connor McDavid. Everybody here saying yes. That is absolutely huge. I think everyone else here we can probably let go for now. See who is available in free agency, and then come back to them. But with that being said, I'm going to sim to free agency. I will be right back. So jumping into free agency now, we actually have a decent amount of money. We have $19 million in cap space. It appears that Brad Richards, 87 overall, is the top free agent of this class, so it seems like overall it's a little bit more disappointing. I definitely want to add to the bottom six. A lot of names here aren't jumping out like crazy. Honestly, like a Derek Dorsett, tough guy to play against. Can protect some of our skill guys. Let's give him a contract, see what he says. Just do 1 year at like 1.25. Don't mind that. He can be a fourth liner. Other than that, who do we got? What about Richards? Like, we were looking for a second line center all last year. Had to sign Koivu. He only wants 2 years, 35. What if we did like a huge 1 year, $8 million contract or something? I don't know if he's gonna say yes to that. I don't really know how much they prioritize term. You know what? Yeah, I think we do it. We have 19 million bucks. He's 87 overall. Could be a very good second line center. If he signs it, great. If he doesn't, then it just wasn't meant to be. Other than that, a lot of these guys aren't really jumping out at me. Ryan Jones, maybe we could bring back for a third, fourth line role. Obviously, we just had him. I'm not really willing to go more than a year on him. Just give him $2 million bucks. Again, we have the money. There's not a ton of guys out here. So, yeah, we'll give him the deal anyway. Looking at potential, there's nothing too crazy here. Gallagher being basically the top potential player. Matt Conan, but he's older. I'm glad to see a lot of these guys aren't just getting dumped off by the air. But with that being said, Anthony Brodeur. Yeah, that's not bad. 4-star potential. I didn't mean to go into Burke there. But getting the son of the legend. Yeah, I wouldn't mind throwing my hat into the name there, or into the list of teams there with Buffalo and Florida. Who knows, potentially we could be getting another pretty solid goaltending prospect if he does accept our offer. And there you go. Anthony Brodeur is joining the Edmonton Oilers organization. Let's take a look and see if any of these other free agents will accept our contracts. Ryan Jones coming back. It's good to see. Derek Dorsett for the fourth line. Bring some toughness to the team. And there you go, Brad Richards. He is accepting our contract, 1 year, $8 million. So that means even next year, that contract's going to come off the books. We're going to have $8 million more to spend. And for this year, we get a really solid second line center. But going back to free agency here, other than that, I wouldn't mind maybe adding one defenseman. You could go like a Cody Franzen, it's a little expensive. McQuaid's not bad, he's another tough guy to play against. Martinez is there. I'm thinking let's maybe go a 1 year deal on Adam McQuaid. I saw just when we were playing against him, puts up a ton of penalty minutes. I'm assuming he fights quite a bit. So let's give him a 1 year, $3 million. Again, it's just more money that's going to come off the cap for us next year. If it doesn't work out, or if it does, we can just re-sign him. See what he says to that deal. And then other than that, I don't think there's much else for us to do here in free agency. And there you go, Adam McQuaid does accept our contract. But other than that, I think that's all we have to do. I'm going to sign a couple of just depth guys for the minors, two-way contracts, stuff like that. And I will meet you back at the start of the preseason. So after putting together some of the lines for this team, we're actually looking pretty solid. First line I have Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle. Very, very solid stacked first line. Second line is Yakupov, Richards, and McDavid. Again, no, McDavid might not be ready, only a 71 overall, but first overall pick coming out of the draft being McDavid. We're going to give him the opportunity anyway, see what happens. Third line being Jones, Horak, and Pouliot. The fourth line, Derek Dorsett, Lander, and Carl Klingberg. Defensively, we have Petrie and Schultz. We have Marinson and Clefbaum, and Nikitin and McQuaid. So really there's no holes there. As long as we stay healthy, we should be good. And goaltending stays exactly the same as it was in our last season. But let's see how we do in the preseason. So once we actually do get through the preseason, that is where I'm going to call it for today's episode. But let's see how the team is here after our new additions of Brad Richards, McDavid, McQuaid, all those guys. First game, Connor McDavid does score a goal against the Calgary Flames. That's awesome to see. As we are 2-0 in the preseason. I know it's early on, I know it's preseason, but I think we have a pretty good team here. Again, it's so hard to say with this EA sim engine. You never know what's going to happen in this game, but I think we have a pretty solid, at least foundation of young players that we can build around here. And yeah, who knows? As we sit 2-2-1 in the preseason, last game against the Vancouver Canucks, we do win. Just take a look at the player stats. I want to see how many points McDavid put up there in the preseason, and just some of the other players as well. So it looks like, sorted by points, Jordan Eberle leading point scorer with 9, Taylor Hall right behind him. So McDavid only 1 goal, 1 assist. Maybe he isn't ready. Maybe that 71 is just, gonna hold him back. Understandable. Defensively, nothing too crazy. And then, Victor Fost played all the games for the preseason here today. So let's just simulate up to whenever the regular season starts here. But next episode, we will be going through the first 41 games, half season of year number 2. Again, I'm not too sure how we're going to do. We'll just take it game by game and just go from there. But that is going to do it for today's video. I will see you all in the next one.